carrying the land with us. There's a feeling on a landscape when we take the time to tune in. Every place has its feeling. In the past, it's been called the genius loci, the spirit of place. And each place has a gift that it can bring. When we sit quietly by an open lake and we look at the quiet waters and the breeze ripples across it, and then it gets calm and still, and we notice the reflection of the distant trees and mountains on the water surface, it brings us into a certain state inside of ourselves. Or when we enter a mysterious forest, coming out of the meadow and taking our first steps across the threshold onto that forest path, and we breathe in the changing scent, the transition from the grass of the meadow into the scent of the loam of the forest floor, coming up into the mysterious shadows and beams of light that play through the trees. And we notice the hushed quiet of the forest as we step in. It brings us into a certain place, not just around us, but that place brings us into a certain place inside ourselves. One of the things we talk about in mentoring deep nature connection is that when we immerse our senses on the landscape repeatedly over time, we actually start to carry that place inside of ourselves. And maybe you can think of this with a favorite hiking trail you have, or even at your own home, you know, how well you know that place. And you can probably imagine that in your mind's eye, walking that trail and some of those little bumps on the trail, or maybe there's a certain tree you always hold on to when you take a step up on a steep section of the trail. It's because your brain has internalized that place. And so when we bring our attention to our environment, we start to literally bring in through our senses all the energy of that place into our system. And we actually build a mental model of that in our brain, but we also develop a felt sense for that place. And as we do that, we start to appreciate that place. We start to open up our sense of empathy because we're starting to attune to what's there. So just something to consider as you're getting out and you're going on your hikes, taking a walk through your neighborhood, or just going out to your sit spot to sit for a little bit, asking that question of, what's new today? What haven't I noticed yet? And bringing your awareness out to sense what's there. And every time you do that, you're going to be absorbing more of that place into your system, and it's going to become part of you. We literally carry the places that we inhabit with us. So find a beautiful place to go sit. It could just be looking at a blade of grass or a flower, looking up at the clouds, sitting with your back against a tree. Find a little beautiful, amazing spot where you can be in that state of wonder, and notice that you're bringing that into your daily experience that way. Enjoy.